Good morning, everyone. Is my screen visible?
Yeah.
And am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you.
ये बता
So my topic of discussion today is an observational study on fundus autofluorescence patterns in different stages of CACR. No financial interest. FAF has emerged as one of the most important imaging and diagnostic methods of retinochoroidal diseases for recent years. It mainly emphasizes on lipofuscin changes within the RPE and outer retina, as well as subretinal space alterations. Macula is perceived as hypoautofluorescence, and the main source of autofluorescence under the SRD in macula is precipitated lipofuscin granules. In our study, we have obtained certain stage-specific characteristic of autofluorescence patterns and classified them according to their chronicity. So the aim of our study was to discuss and compare FAF patterns in acute, chronic, and sequelae cases of CACR patients presenting according to the morphological changes in the retina, and to evaluate the potential value of FAF as a non-invasive monitoring tool. We incorporated 60 patients of CACR in a tertiary care center-based retrospective cross-sectional observational study which spanned from June 2017 to January 2018. We included patients having clinical signs and symptoms of CACR, which were evidenced by fluorescein angiography, OCT, and autofluorescence. We excluded patients with significant media opacity, presence of CNVM, AMD, and previous history of laser, any kind of surgery, PDT, intravitreal injections, diabetic retinopathy, PCV, or ERM. Every patient underwent comprehensive ophthalmological examination, including fundus photo, fluorescein angiography, autofluorescence, and OCT. The cases were classified according to the subjective symptoms and duration of the disease. 33 patients presented with onset within last 6 weeks and were classified as acute cases. 23 presented with onset more than 6 weeks back and were classified as chronic patients, and patients presented presented with apparent previous history of CACR in their medical records and with remnant symptoms but without any evidence of SRD were classified as sequelae. Now coming on to the results. Acute CACR patients, 24 out of 33 of them, that is 72%, presented with decreased autofluorescence intensity at the leakage point, which is seen with the yellow arrow. And 85% presented with hypoautofluorescence in the area of SRD. 15% presented with isoautofluorescence in the area of SRD. In chronic CACR cases, we see that majority, that is 70%, presented with hyperautofluorescence in the area of SRD. Decreased intensity of autofluorescence at the leakage point was found only in 3 out of 23 cases. And isoautofluorescence with minimal changes were found in 30% of the cases of chronic CACR. Sequelae of CACR cases presented mostly with mixed autofluorescence over the areas of RPE atrophy, and only one case presented with the classic descending tract sign. So when we analyzed our results, we saw that the reduced intensity of autofluorescence at the leakage site of fluorescein angiography was found to be significantly associated with acute CACR, whereas hypoautofluorescence and hyperautofluorescence on the area of SRD were found to be significantly associated with acute and chronic CACR respectively. Mean visual acuity in hypo, hyper, and isoautofluorescence were 0.20, 0.10, and 0.16 logMAR decimal scale respectively, and this visual acuity was found to be significantly correlating with the patterns of autofluorescence, which is evidenced by this linear regression plot. So in past papers, we have seen that Frame et al. In 2005 have described FAF as an interesting non-invasive tool for monitoring RPE changes in CAC and for performing differential diagnosis. Chiara et al. In 2015 have confirmed the impact of FAF changes on retina sensitivity and their value to reflect functional impairment and chronic CACR, and Disley et al. In 2017 demonstrated that the autofluorescent lifetime changes in CACR exhibit explicit perturbations to outer retinal layers. So what makes our study unique is that we have specially focused on the association of or association between the stage of CSER and some state specific findings. We also emphasize the possibility of using FAF as a non-invasive imaging tool to identify the leakage points for planning focal laser and predicting visual outcome for specific AF patterns. The limitation of our study was its retrospective cross-sectional design and small sample size. These are the list of references. Thank you all.
Yeah, excellent.